Hi, Arcfieldweather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday morning, July the 16th. The current heat wave in the Mid-Atlantic region likely reaches a peak this afternoon with many places along the I-95 corridor region, for example, DC, Philadelphia, New York City, flirting with the 100-degree mark for afternoon highs. There could be some shower and thunderstorm activity late today, early tonight, and even more likely later tomorrow into tomorrow night as a cool front crosses from northwest to southeast, first across the Great Lakes, and then reaching the Mid-Atlantic region late in the day on Wednesday. Any thunderstorm that does develop over the next 36 hours or so can be strong to severe in the Mid-Atlantic region, with the likelihood of producing some very heavy rainfall in a short period of time. The western third of the nation remains quite warm, but it looks like over the next 6 to 10 days or so, much of the eastern half of the nation will be at or below normal, especially cooler than normal in the middle part of the nation, where a pretty impressive upper level low for this time of year will set up. Let's take a look here at the total precipitation forecast map from last night's 0Z run of the GFS. This is for the next 10 days, and pretty much all areas across the eastern two-thirds of the nation will get some decent rainfall. Basically, let's say around this area. Well, let's redraw that a little bit and go all the way out to about here. And east will get some decent rainfall, especially, again, across the central part of the area where an upper level low will set up, and into the eastern third of the nation. And quite a bit of this can fall over the next 36 hours or so. There's currently a very significant line of heavy showers and thunderstorms kind of right in this region right here, tending to move to the south and east. And again, in the Mid-Atlantic region, there can be some thunderstorms late today and tonight, and especially later tomorrow and tomorrow night. And some of those can reach severe levels. Meanwhile, mainly dry, let's say from western Montana out across Washington, Oregon, California, mainly on the dry side over the next 10 days, and that'll probably be the warmest part of the nation over the next 10 days or so, the western third of the nation. But again, a lot of cooler than normal air, especially centered right over the heartland of the U.S. Well, let's take a look here at the severe weather probability map as put out by NOAA's Storm Prediction Center. This is for later today and tonight. And again, any thunderstorm that forms in this kind of heat, 95 to 100 degrees, for example, this afternoon, DC, Philadelphia, New York City, can certainly grab onto a lot of potential energy in the atmosphere and become strong to severe. By that I mean it can produce some very heavy rainfall in a short period of time. Hail is on the table as well, and that threat will not only continue on Wednesday and Wednesday night in the Mid-Atlantic region, but it'll likely intensify some with the arrival of a cool frontal system. Chance for severe weather all the way out across the Midwest and into the Central Plains later on today and tonight. In fact, right now, again, there's a very strong line of showers and thunderstorms right across the upper part of the Tennessee Valley, the middle Mississippi Valley region, so be on the lookout over the next few hours in this part of the nation. Now, we'll jump ahead to tomorrow, and here's the forecast map, again, by NOAA's Storm Prediction Center. All this associated with that incoming cold frontal system moves from northwest to southeast over the next 48 hours or so, first crossing the Great Lakes region and then arriving in the Mid-Atlantic region later on tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night. And again, that will come with some strong to severe thunderstorms right up and down the I-95 corridor region. The good news is that following the passage of that frontal system, cooler air moves into the Mid-Atlantic region for Thursday and Friday. High temperatures back to the more seasonable 80s on Thursday afternoon and Friday afternoon. And there's some signs that the remainder of the month of July will be relatively normal temperature-wise across much of the central and eastern part of the nation. In other words, the extreme heat of yesterday, today, and somewhat tomorrow may not return once we get this cold frontal passage coming through. By the time Thursday may be the beginning of a nearly normal temperature pattern across much of the eastern half of the nation through the remainder of July. Now let's take a look at the 500 millibar height anomaly forecast maps using the 0Z run of the GFS. And here's the pretty impressive looking upper level low beginning the day here on Tuesday over the south central part of Canada, and that is where that cold front exists right now. Again, that cold frontal system in this area right here will be slowly moving to the south and east over the next 36 to 48 hours or so, and it will be quite a noticeable factor as it will have a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity. Let's move forward here and watch what happens. Again, it drops to the south and east on Wednesday, sliding across the Great Lakes region from northwest to southeast. That upper level feature will supply a lot of support to the development of some strong to severe thunderstorms in this part of the nation on Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday night. And we move through, it moves through by the time we get to Thursday, and relatively normal conditions Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in terms of temperatures across much of the eastern part of the nation. Again, with this upper level feature sitting over the heartland, even cooler than normal conditions. Most of the hotter than normal conditions will be confined over the next 5 or 10 days or so across the western third of the nation, let's say from Montana down to Arizona and westward to California and Washington. Again, that's over the next 5 or 10 days or so. Let's continue to move forward here. Again, this system sits over the central plains here, the southern part of the Mississippi Valley region, keeping things at or below normal for much of the next week or so, and indeed going right to the end of the month of July. This part, the eastern two-thirds of the nation, may not experience the extreme heat that is being felt right now, especially in the mid-Atlantic region. We'll go out a little bit farther in time, all the way into the end of the upcoming week, and again, that hot weather, Montana down to Arizona and out to the west coast here from Washington to California. Well, let's wrap up with the surface forecast maps using the 0Z run of the GFS. Here we begin the day on Tuesday, very, very warm and humid already, just to begin the day here in the I-95 corridor region. Again, many spots along that DC, Philadelphia, New York City corridor will flirt with the 100-degree mark this afternoon for those afternoon high temperatures. Now, you can see some shower and thunderstorm activity depicted here by the GFS with the greens and yellows here by early this evening. And certainly any storm that does form later on today into tonight in the Mid-Atlantic region, right along this boundary zone here, can be strong to severe. We saw the probability outlook from the Storm Prediction Center is pretty much right in this region for this evening into the overnight hours for the possibility of some strong to severe thunderstorms, let's say from the Mid-Atlantic region out across the Midwest and right into the Central Plains. Now, excuse me, let's move into the day on Wednesday, and here we go. And here is the next round of potentially strong to severe thunderstorms later tomorrow night, more confined to the Mid-Atlantic region, maybe the Ohio Valley, as compared to today, all the way out to the Central Plains. And this is associated with that next frontal system that comes on through. And here's the front by the time we get to late tomorrow night. We're situated right around in this region right here, dropping to the south and east, and all anchored by a strong high pressure system that has its origins in Canada, and it drops from Canada all the way into the northern plains by the time we get to later tomorrow night into the day on Thursday. A refreshing air mass right in this area for this time of the year. And let's move forward in time a little bit. Here we go into the morning hours and afternoon hours on Thursday. We'll have to watch. This frontal system could stall out not too far to the south and east of, let's say, a place like DC, Philadelphia, and it could result in some shower and thunderstorm activity even on the other side of the front into the day on Thursday night time frame. That's what this is all suggesting here, that the frontal system does in fact stall out right in this region right here, even a little low pressure area moving along that frontal boundary zone, but this is all the way into Thursday evening, and certainly from, let's say, the Mason-Dixon line, the Pennsylvania-Maryland border on south, there is a chance for, on the cooler side of the frontal system, to see some shower and thunderstorm activity late Thursday and Thursday night, something we'll have to focus in on over the next day or so, because some of this could turn into another threat of strong to severe thunderstorm activity. Now, let's move forward into the day on Friday. And here we go. This high pressure area doesn't move too quickly, which is good news because it's associated with a much more comfortable air mass, obviously, compared to what we're experiencing today. 80s for highs Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, places like D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. Now, on the other side of the high, and across the western part of the nation, again, some hot weather. You can even see what we call a kind of a thermal low showing up here at the surface level, and that's because it's so hot. You actually reduce the surface pressure right in this area right here. So Montana down to Arizona and then to the west coast, hot weather, most likely dry weather. We saw that 10-day forecast map, quite dry over the next 10 days across the western third of the nation. We'll go out just a little bit farther in time and into the upcoming weekend. Still, comfortable air mass in place all the way into the beginning part of the upcoming weekend. So hot for the next 24 to 36 hours or so in the Mid-Atlantic I-95 corridor region. 100 degrees on the table for afternoon highs today in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. Not quite as hot tomorrow, still well up in the 90s, but with the increased cloud cover and incoming shower and thunderstorms, won't be quite as hot on Wednesday. But watch out. Any thunderstorm later today and tonight can be strong to severe, and that chance for strong to severe thunderstorm activity will increase on Wednesday afternoon and night with the arrival of that frontal system. Then cooler air moves in from the Great Lakes into the Ohio Valley and the Mid-Atlantic northeastern U.S. by Thursday, and it stays more comfortable on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with high temperatures in the more reasonable 80s across much of the northeastern quadrant of the nation. That's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, this has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.